All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome into the first episode of 330 Club Podcast. My guest today is my good friend Jimmy Klein, aka Mike Klein, aka Heavy Kreme. If you don't know him, he's a really great musician, songwriter, producer. He's played drums in Rebuild and Rebound as well as Stoleaway. He's played bass in Stoleaway, which is one of my bands. He's also done a solo project under Heavy Kreme where he's worked on some of the production for the beats and does singing and rapping. It's like a hip hop but a vocally, very musical hip hop project. And I will have all the links to his social media as well as his projects in the description. We did have a pretty casual conversation. It wasn't too much promotion. I tried to ask some good questions, but, he's one of my homies. So there's a lot of football talk and betting talk and things of that nature. But if you're tuning in, I hope you enjoy it. And I thought it was a pretty awesome conversation. I look forward to having him back on the podcast soon.
All right. I think we're recording.
Yo.
So, welcome to the very first debut episode of the 330 Club Podcast. I guess it's like the pilot, sort of. I got my guest here. You may know him as Mike Klein. You may know him as Heavy Kreme. I know him as Jimmy. What's going on,
Hello.
my friend?
Not much. It's been a crazy week. I just got out of work. 10:57 on a Friday, drinking a water. So that's it.
I appreciate you doing this, especially late. I'm not sure if I told you this, but Steve made me think of something, so I just wanted to tell you the story real quick. He was making my title card where it has so the viewers who watch us on YouTube will see that as the thumbnail. So It says episode 1 Mike Klein. And I told him, he's like, do you want an episode name? I'm like, no, I'm just going to put the guest. That's the name. And I told him to put Mike. But it's really funny because if you exist in the Rebuild and Rebound or Stoleaway camp or Clark Street Sports or the betting group chat, you're Jimmy. Those groups.
I'm Jimmy to more than just those groups. A lot of my friends, but they call me Jimmy as well. People at work, it's weird.
I mean, I'll talk to people that are outside of our group of friends, and they'll be like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Mike Klein." And they're like, "Oh, okay." But what that made me think of is when you first started working at Clark Street, I didn't have you in the group chat. And so I sent out a schedule, and I typed in Jimmy, and I sent it to some fucking other guy because you were in my phone as Mike Klein from when we first met.
Dude, that's funny. I've been through that with a similar name, not just the same first and last name. I'm not gonna say it, but there was 4 different people in my phone with that first and last name, and it was to the point where it was this is the wrong person, every time.
Well, but mine was embarrassing because this dude had a completely different last name.
Oh, jeez.
I just wasn't paying attention. He's like, why the hell did you send me this? And I was like, oh, shit. So then I changed your name. This is 8, almost 9 years ago. I changed your name to Jimmy on my phone.
I was going to say, I made sure to... We have. It's been longer. Time kind of flew in the past 10 years, which is nuts. But I just think about, everybody at the store, I would just put, a football or a baseball next to them. So I knew that they were, workers, or coworkers,
Yeah.
So it was okay, in case anybody Matt, it's or Steve. I had other Steve and Matts, so
you're not gonna have a lot of
just made it easier. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, that's funny. I was talking to somebody about that the other day because we were discussing how I met you. Well, it wasn't about that, but it was around that time. That situation was we were going to try to do Fast Food Kids again and open for Rebuild and Rebound when you guys. What was that an EP release show?
I believe so. Everything's kind of in the past 10 years. It's been kind of easy to remember. Somebody was talking about a show the other day. I think it was Quaid. He was like, "Remember when we played here?" And in my head, I was like, I really I feel like we played there a couple different times, but I don't remember every show 100%. Well, I remember the Royal shows predominantly those because we played there so much.
Yeah, they're good too.
Yeah, those were fun shows, man. Especially the one with everybody. It was just so much fun.
We had that big picture with the sign.
Yes. The trailer, the porno trailer.
Yeah, the bukkake sign. People are probably like, "What the hell are they talking?" We're gonna get kicked off YouTube.
Me and Mill were both in bands back in the day, and starting something new coming soon. Little teaser.
Yeah, we can get into that a little bit, but maybe we'll be vague.
We'll be vague, yes.
But I wanted to ask you something too because okay, so for people who don't know, you played drums and bass in Stoleaway. You're kind of the reason we got to play live.
I did play drums and bass. Drums are obviously my preferred and was my favorite, but bass is still fun. I was just trying to do something new to, I don't know. I felt kind of like stagnant, so I was like, let me do something else. Let me try something new. It was fun. It was great.
The thing is, you were coming over, like you were still doing Rebuild and Rebound, at least for like most of that time. But you're kind of joining our band. But I've always took as a guy kind of like me, where you are kind of the band leader off the stage. Like you are booking shows, doing merch orders, organizing shit, dealing with money. Is that like is that fair?
Somewhat. I would say somewhat. It was for Rebuild and Rebound. It was kind of I would say I was probably like, we were all pretty even in that.
Okay.
With everything. If it was somebody recommending something, it was like, hey, what do we all think of this?
Okay.
I think we should do this. Are you guys down for that? Yes, no, I feel like we should do this. Somebody like Christian would maybe say someone else would be like, okay, I see that. Let's do that instead. I like that. It was a pretty joint effort. I'm pretty social as a person, so I think they used me as like almost like a mascot that was in the band for a little bit. It's like, oh, nobody wants to go talk to somebody promoting the band. I'll go do it because I didn't really care at the time. So I was just like, I'll just go talk to some random. But it is what it is. It was good times.
That's fair. Maybe it's just because as you get older, people stop having fun doing the like really boring shit in your band. So then whoever is the one who will put up with it is the one who does it, which is usually me.
Yeah, I feel that, Bill. You're definitely the main driving source. Like you and Steve both, I feel like. But for booking, you booked like all the Stoleaway shows.
Oh my god!
Like, maybe not all of them. Like obviously Jake probably booked one, and I probably was like, oh, we should play this show. I know somebody that's playing it. Like, it was like I said, joint effort. But man, you did a lot of the booking. You all the fun shows.
You know what the best show was I didn't even do anything. What
was your favorite show?
Well, maybe not the show, but just the situation. Okay.
Okay.
Dude hits me up. Hey, some band dropped. We have a 4-band bill. We'll Stoleaway play, and I'm like, all right, let me see if everybody's free. And we played at that Moose Lodge.
In Valpo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun show. I like that one. A Jethro Tull shirt show.
Yeah.
That's what that show was. Yes, I remember.
But do you remember the reason
the
it was
comedian?
Fun? No. I forgot about that. But Yumi and Jake went to the bar, and we're like, we'll just get like one drink.
Yes.
We don't play for like 6 hours, and it was like, because we played second to last, and we had to be there 2 fucking hours early. So we're putting up merch. So like, I go up there, and I had cash because I was doing merch. So I'm like, guys, I'll get this. Jake got like a Space Dust or some shit. You got a Jack and Coke, and I got a shot of tequila, and none of it was it was like 18. It was all name brand shit.
Oh, drink order that would be $25, and it was what?
$7. I told the lady, I'm like, did you get their drinks? She's like, yeah, it's $7. I'm like, fuck. So by the time we started playing, and for some reason we stupidly opened with Buried at that show. I'm like sweating, under those lights.
I was drunk that show, dude. That show was that was fun. We were like, it's a Moose Lodge. We're gonna drink. Jake's parents were there. It was a blast.
I'm surprised you couldn't smoke indoors.
I'm surprised too, because that felt like a place you'd be smoking indoors.
Yeah. So is Royal 100%. To an extent.
I'm pretty sure people were smoking indoors at Royal sometimes.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to.
They just weren't. They weren't supposed to be, but they were doing it.
Well, Royal had a liquor store next door too.
Yep, I've been in there a couple times. That was fun. That guy didn't even card either.
No, but we were all over 21. Funny.
Well, when I first started playing Royal, it was like I think I was on the cusp. Maybe of 21.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But after that, 21 for sure.
Well, how old are you turning this month?
I will be, I don't even want to say it, 29.
29? Okay, well, I'm 32, so.
Oh, yeah, I understand. I get close to 30, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Nah, it's tight, man. You stopped giving a fuck.
No, I've stopped giving a fuck like 4 years ago.
Well, yeah.
But still, I get what you're saying, yeah.
I'm like just doing me, and like I think that's why I got so excited when you asked me about doing a new project, because the group of people, it's so much fun.
It's like what I was trying to do. I was thinking of like, I just kind of thought about like how I was feeling mentally, and like I just wanted to be involved in something, even with like everybody that's so-called in this project we're working on. It's hard with everybody we all have lives, we do our own thing. We all do different jobs. We all work different schedules. and it's a very slow motion thing, but it's like we're doing step by step just to figure out what we can do to at least make myself feel better and then make everybody feel better mentally. Because I've talked to Quaid multiple times, and he's like, I want to be in a band, I want to play some shows, and I want to write music again. I want to have that feeling, something that we've crafted or created that we can be proud of, that even if it's like 5 people or 10 people that are my friends, that they can be proud of and have something to do on a weekend, so it's just good vibes all around.
Well, and I think too, I can empathize with this a little bit differently than I used to be able to, because I'm doing like solo stuff now. There's something like, it's great to just be able to do your music, because you did like the Heavy Kreme record, which I listen to like all the time.
I have been waiting to try and get myself in that space to write again. It's been very tough, but I'm trying to get back to it. I would love to craft another hip hop album or some kind of just solo album of some sort.
I think it's like, but it's almost like a introvert extrovert thing, where it's like you, as an artist, you are an introvert and you create your own songs in whatever space that may be. But then when you do the band thing, there's just something about like, it's about the music, but like it's the stories we have aren't about what songs we played at those shows. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, it's the memories of doing it, and just hanging out, like
blowing the power out at South Bend.
Dude, that was nuts. We just walk into that venue and we're like, we're in a coffee shop, and then around the corner is just like we're playing a live venue. Like,
it was weird. And
I was just like in a room. I was like, what the hell? This is nuts.
That was one of those where the cab's downstairs and you're all killing yourselves.
Oh my gosh, that was a crazy show. I think about like a lot of the good times. I think about one time we drove like 3 hours. Rebuild and Rebound drove 3 hours for a show. Or like Durango? 2.5 hours away for a show in the Durango. Played the show, and we were like assholes probably, because Kyle Anderson's Halloween party was that night.
Oh, this is when we became friends.
Yes, this is exactly when we became friends, because the night before we played that show, and that's when I officially met you. Even though like I knew Cord. I knew exactly who you were. I just didn't like actually meet you yet. So I just thought it was so funny that we went to the show you guys
played.
Yes, that was Friday night. This was Saturday night, and we went to the show in Illinois somewhere. Like,
wasn't it Tinley Park?
Show, like, I think it was farther than that.
Because I remember Danner was the DD, and he was talking about that.
I can't remember exactly where it was at. I felt like it was farther than Tinley Park. Felt like it was like more north, like a Downers Grove-ish area.
Ooh, yeah, we've done those.
Yeah, which is far. It sucks. It's like for driving from how far away it is. So we just like played the show. We were the first band to play, of course. So we played in this basement. We literally like talked to people for a short bit. I think we did like an interview with someone a girl online. I can't remember her name because it was like 10 years ago. But then we ended up just dipping. I was like, we need to go straight to Kyle Anderson's house. Like, it is this time now. We'll get there in an hour and 40 minutes. Like, we will be able to see everybody like peak drunk and just have a good time.
Oh, I was so...
And they're like, all right, fuck it. We're bringing the trailer. And we just pulled up to this party that's
on
huge
Church Street.
Already. On a Church Street, like literally, like in Crown Point, there's no parking. We parked like 2 streets over, and we just pulled the Durango with the trailer, and we just went into the party, and everybody
and then
was
walked
drunk.
down to went and found the house. Yeah,
it was so much fun, dude.
The funny thing about that is, I got off from Clark Street at like, I don't remember what time, but early-ish, like middle of the day. And me and Steve went home. I think he worked with me, and then we drove together. And I was like Wayne from Wayne's World that year.
Yeah.
So my costume was just like a hat. And I probably wore it to work anyway. But I just went to get like liquor. And I remember like I got there before anybody else and drank like I don't know, a 12-pack or an 8-pack of Tall Boys, waiting for people to show up. I just like passed out, and I woke up and
I remember you were there like on the couch. You're like, "Oh, Mike, what's up, dude?" I remember yesterday was so much fun, and then I was like, "I'm gonna let you sleep, man," because you were drunk. And then Dr. Shots, obviously, Dr. Shots was doing his thing, giving out shots to everybody.
Those fucking parties were kind of wild.
Yeah, I had a lot of good memories of those parties. Just everybody was just good vibes.
You calling Quaid Cord is like the legendary thing that still gets talked about.
It's still messed up. My friends say it too. It's crazy because I literally said Quaid. I said Quaid in my head. Like, I was like, I love you, Quaid. It should have been Quaid. But it said, I love you, Cord. And it just came out like that. And
in the southern accent.
Did you just fucking call him Cord? And I'm like, Quaid. Quaid is what I said. And I did not say Quaid.
I was almost as good as Queet. Queet Marimov.
Queet is great. Queet Marimov, the when he got that pizza and it said Queet Marimov, I was like, that is the funniest thing ever. They just butchered his name.
So, like, why does nobody go by their actual fucking name around here?
I don't know. Now I got, like, my middle name, you know, it's not like, it's probably public knowledge, but it's Jerome. So I got people at work calling me J Rome. Kat calls me Romy Rome. So it's like, I've got Romo Dins. Yes, my jersey is literally right there.
You got it?
Covered up. Yes. I'm wearing it every week. We'll talk about the Bears later. I'm going to the game Sunday. I'm going to the Patriots game. I get to see a little Drake May, a little Pop Douglas action, hopefully. But
Steelers are fucking 6-2, and I went to one that they lost.
I know. That's what sucks. They're gonna beat the Commanders. I think. I hope. So. Yeah.
Your mouth to God's ears, dude.
Steelers
Russell
always
Wilson's probably praying right now.
Dude, Steelers always just show up, even no matter what situation they're in. It's always like something crazy is happening. Like, hey, we had a quarterback we drafted. Okay, we all got behind him. Wasn't working out, but still productive enough. And then, boom, Russell Wilson, and you get Justin Fields, which I wish he would have stayed playing, but I understand they had to do what they had to do. So it is what it is.
Let me ask you this. So, like, obviously, I've been a Steeler fan my whole life because my dad is born and raised in Pittsburgh. I have the city of Pittsburgh flag hanging behind me.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say the 2001 is probably the first season where I remember watching, like, every game. They went 13-3 with Cordell Stewart, and then they lost in the AFC Championship to the Patriots. It was one of those Spygate, era games, whatever.
Oh my gosh,
not over it.
Yeah.
But my question is, so like the Steelers, obviously, I'm very fortunate. I've seen them win, and they're always competitive, and usually at least a playoff team. But still, every year I either get really disappointed, and then by September I'm fucking like ready to go no matter what. Do you feel similar? Like even if the Bears can be 3-13, and then the next year you're like, fucking, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm always. I mean, it's so hard being a Bears fan, to be honest. Like.
Oh, I'd imagine.
I am wearing this, like, everything about this except for the state. Like,
it's pretty
we're
sick,
good.
Though.
I know, it's sick. It was on sale on Fanatics. Anyways, I go into the season with, like, I tell myself, don't get your expectations too high. You have to realize, obviously, this is a build year. I'm going to come out the gate week 1 being like, Bears Super Bowl, no doubt. Like, or just Bears are going to the playoffs. Bears are a great team. And then, like, as the season goes on, I come down to earth. It's just, I feel like the Bears fans with the situation that's been happening the past couple weeks and, like, what's been happening is just unfortunate because there are a lot of passionate fans, third biggest city in the country. Bears fans go everywhere. They travel well. But the problem is we support just this god-awful, like, organization that's just a loser franchise. Like, and we're not the Panthers or the Jags with just like straight unluckiness, but it's, oh my God. Well, it's tough sometimes. You have to stay positive. I was pumped when we got DJ Moore. I was pumped when we got the number 1 overall pick. I was a huge Justin Fields supporter. Like, I watched that Quarterback One show on Netflix like 7 years ago when it was.
Dude, he was sick at Ohio State.
He was. And like following him through high school, like, that showed that, and it was cool. I felt like I liked this guy a lot because of that. Mm-hmm. But like it's I get they're gonna go in the direction they want to go. It just sucks sometimes being a Bears fan. Like, my brother's had season tickets with his friends for, I don't know, 20,
I'll say a while,
18 years now. I'm pretty sure he went to one of the Super Bowls or had the chance to go to one of the Super Bowls, and then maybe they sold the ticket, I think, because it was worth so much money.
I make the argument. I make the argument that ownership has a lot to do with it, because when you grow up as, like, you and I were little kids being sports fans, but you never look at it as a business, and then you grow up and you realize how much of a business it is.
It's a business, yeah. It makes, as a kid, you don't understand it. Like, for kids that have like that are the Minnesota Vikings fans, for example, like Justin Jefferson, such a polarizing, like, huge player that's very successful right off the jump and is consistent. To be a kid, like, being a fan of that team, I'd be like, wow, there's nothing that can defeat my fanhood because I found this guy, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I would look at it. Like, for me, it was like I liked Marty Booker a lot. I liked,
he was sick.
I'm thinking like old Bears. Like, that was my first jersey, and then like I had like Matt Forte and like the Urlachers and the Briggs and the defense that was just like, hey, there's a chance we lose this game, but our defense is keeping us in it. That's always been the Bears. If they're like somewhat of a team, they're going to have somewhat of an okayish defense.
What's the worst Bears jersey you ever got in retrospect? Not counting guys who are like
I don't have
now.
I honestly didn't have a lot. Like I rocked the Forte jersey. I had the Marty Booker jersey when I was a kid. He was good. I'm
talking like a guy you buy who totally is like either a bust or just isn't good with the team.
I'm trying to think who I bought. I never bought a Trubisky jersey. I would say no. I don't even think I have one. I don't think I have one.
Respect.
Because
Mac was good.
Mac was good, and that was the one I was going to say. But I was like, nah. He brought expectations and excitement to a team. We almost beat the Packers. They did go to the playoffs, unfortunately, double doink. But that's just Bears luck. That's just Bears luck. Yes, exactly. And that's what it is. What it is. I'm positive. I'm just gonna roll with it. I want to be a supporter of Caleb. I mean, he's thrown some sick passes through the first 4 weeks of the season, first 5 weeks.
He's got a
it just sucks. They got to address the O-line. They have to be drafting offensive linemen that can protect him. They need to be signing offensive linemen that are just build the depth. Like, you have to spend money. Also, you need to get a coach that's like a dog. Like somebody who's gonna just actually inspire the team. Someone with grit. Someone that's tough, someone that doesn't give a shit. They'll cuss somebody out in a press conference. Fuck it.
You know who's going to be available soon?
Get a guy like that. Who?
Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin Stefanski. I know.
He got railroaded by his front office.
Dude,
he's a good coach.
What was it? I would like a Mike Vrabel even.
Vrabel's good.
What if Belichick came and coached the Bears? He would probably never do that.
That'd be
but
sick.
Still,
Belichick
would be
so
sick.
Smart.
You need somebody that's just kind of like an asshole, a jerk.
I love listening
to
Belichick.
They're going to inspire dudes to do better,
Yeah. Dude, it's hard. It's hard, though.
It's tough.
It's funny. I see kids playing football, in the yard, the neighbor kids. They all wear, Chiefs, gear, which is fine.
Of course they do.
I get that. But my thing is, it's so funny because the Chiefs are, the real thing. Even if they don't win another Super Bowl after this, they went to 4 and won 3. But, you look at that team, and then you see all these hype boy teams. People love talking about the Ravens, but they haven't gotten to the Super Bowl with Lamar. They love the Bengals. They're under 500. It's not easy to win in the NFL.
Somebody said something the other day. I can't remember who it was because I'd like to give them credit, but I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, I look at the Super Bowl teams. 'Cause I was talking about, damn, the Chiefs are always just winning. I hate it. I don't want to hate it. And somebody gave me the perspective of hey, Patriots are like Michael Jordan, and the Chiefs are like the LeBron. They're coming up. People are gonna root against them because they're doing good, and they're not the Patriots. But it's I'm like, I see that's a good way to put it into perspective. I just am sick of seeing the same shit. The Rams-Bengals year was such a good Super Bowl. It was great. It was thrilling. I hope that it's the Lions-Ravens this year, or Lions-Bills. I'd rather see the Ravens than the Bills, but still
Bills
or a
never
team
won
that's
one.
not teams that have not won one or are not in that Super Bowl talk ever. I want to see that. I want to see that. I feel like it's
baby.
It's just get let's get it going. It's better than seeing the Chiefs beat the Niners or the Niners blow it and get hurt and then not beat the Eagles, and then the Eagles go in there and you're like, oh, let's root for the NFC, and then it's oh, the Eagles are they're shit this game. They're not playing good. There's penalties out that are crazy. It's bruh, come on, can we not have this?
I have a totally different vitriol for the Patriots than I would for the Chiefs, even though they're an AFC team as well, because the Steelers had to exist in the Roethlisberger era with those dynasties.
With Tom Brady.
So
that is true.
Yeah, so we lost in 3 AFC championships, then 2 with Ben, 1 right before Ben, 3 years. So and then there's how many times that the Jesse James catch and all that. So
oh my gosh,
I don't hate New England now, and I don't hate Brady or Belichick. I actually think I like listening to Belichick, but just in that
Belichick's smart. He's a good football mind. He's great to listen to. I agree.
Oh yeah, but it's just in that vacuum of being a fan where my team has to continuously it's like they just couldn't fucking get over that hump.
No, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't say technically I hate either, but I would just rather we saw that. I'm thinking in my head, we saw this already. I don't want to see this again. I want there to be some parity where it's like, hey, it's not the same team winning. It's just different teams competing to see who's really better. You know, it's like the Bears only went once in my lifetime, so it's unfortunate. And I don't hate the Colts because we lost to them in the Super Bowl when I was 12 years old. No, I don't hate them. Actually have never been to
they're never
no, and it's the only team I really hate is the Packers. But the problem is my dad's a Packers fan, and a lot of
How did that happen?
My aunt, I think she's a nun, and she was in Fond du Lac or Milwaukee area, and I think she went up there for her her church stuff.
Okay.
And it was all Packers. And my dad saw that as young because he's younger than my aunt.
But how did you guys become Bears fans then?
My brother was a Bears fan. He was growing up in the prime Michael Jordan era, so it was Chicago Bulls, Chicago Bears, Chicago Blackhawks, and then it was White Sox. That was
interesting. That's really
interesting. Yeah. So my dad was Packers fan. I think my brother also became a Bears fan to piss my dad off a little bit,
Maybe.
Just so there was some kind of rivalry. But my brother just kind of influenced me and took me to a Bears game, and I have a strangely odd memory of when I was 7 years old or 6 years old. Or 4 or 5 years old, I don't know. Around that time, they had donkey basketball is what they called it at the high school I went to at Hanover, and they had Marty Booker and 2 other Bears players there to play. Somebody had paid. Yes, somebody had paid them to come play, and the stands were packed. And my brother brought me. I got to meet him.
That's cool.
And I was like, this is so sick. I thought it was the coolest thing
especially
ever.
If you're a little kid.
I was a kid, so I was all right, this is sick. And then it's and then we have the Urlacher and the Forte years, and we're competing, and we're going to the bowl. Where Devin Hester is just an absolute
he ripped the touchdown
god among men,
right
insanity. We were freaking out, and I was a kid, so I'm just I'm not even if it was me currently, I would be drinking, I would be partying, it would be a blast. Not then. I'm a kid, so it's just genuine excitement. You're jumping up and down,
Yeah, the first time I saw the
it's not influenced by anything else but that.
I get it.
It was a feeling I wish I could have over and over again.
I'm too young to remember the Super Bowl that they lost against the Cowboys, and it was January of '96. I was 3 and a half.
I do not remember. I was an infant.
So I don't remember that. But the first one I remember was the Super Bowl 40. I was 13, so I was young enough to not really get the magnitude of it, and I just was we're gonna win this easily. No problem. And now I would be chewing my nails off,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I do every Sunday.
I know it's nuts, dude. And I'm into fantasy football. Football is obviously my love. I support the NFL more than I should. 100%. Yes.
How is so for those who don't know, we're in a couple gambling group chats and we're big sports bettors. How has that changed you watching football in the last several years?
Ooh, that's a great question. Well, number one, I am literally so committed. I don't do anything on Sunday.
Same.
For every week this season, minus 2 weeks, I go to my friend's house. We have Red Zone on one TV. We have whatever game of choice for the early afternoon or night slate is on. Most of the time, we're watching just the morning and the early the 3 p.m. slate.
The mid slate.
We're not. Yeah, the mid slate. We're not really going that much for night because everybody works early. I don't work early at the moment, but I will stay up and watch it. Yes, I have, and that's what really sucked is when you have to go to work early after I went to the Bears Sunday night against the Seahawks where we had a Prince of Mukamara. This is 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was 2018 season, 6 years ago. Prince of Mukamara had a walk-off tutty to end the game, and I had to go to work at 5 a.m. the next day. It was awful.
Ugh.
But it was a good vibe. But I watch football every Sunday. I bet accordingly. I also bet with who I like. I am definitely a gut better, 100%. But I've done well. Not well. I've done okay-ish. I've done better than I thought I would this year.
Yeah, me too.
I am currently
I'm like 56%
on
against the spread.
I think I'm like 56 to 59 range, which is okay.
Hell yeah, that's great.
I'm up, but like the thing is, the past week to 2 weeks has been down tremendously bad.
Ooh, I was bad on Sunday.
I'm still up. Like I'm still up, but it's to the point where it's like I was up way more, and I've just bet for no reason on things I shouldn't be betting. But then I'm like, I could see it happening, and I need to just kind of ground myself.
You can always see it happening before.
Well, I mean, like there was a point where like when I was on the hot streak of betting the Sox 2 years ago, or not last year, but the year before, when they lost a shit ton of games.
Betting against them?
Yes, betting against them every game, and it was great. I won like a shit ton of money, and then Steve would be like, "I'm putting this bet in," and I'm like, "I'm gonna match it." I'm just every bet Steve was putting in the chat, I was just like putting it in my phone. Like it was to the point where it's just like, I've got all this money, I might as well try.
Yeah, well, I kind of learned. So my dad got me on this website when I was 16. I still do it. I pick against the spread every game, every week. I have like a 16-year record right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
So if there's no money, it's just for fun, but it helps me have an idea of how I'm doing. And something I think I've learned when you look at spreads more than wins and losses, because I don't pick them straight up, only spreads. There's a lot of parity when it comes to like point spreads. And it's funny, like if somebody who is getting into betting has no idea how it works, they're like Monday night, I'm like, Tampa Bay's getting 9 points. The Chiefs never cover anyways. Hammered that.
Yeah, it was obvious. It was so obvious.
But people lose on that.
Well, I mean, blindly betting
Fade the
Chiefs
public.
fans, I could see it. Fade the public, 100%. There's so many times where Ethan or somebody, one of my friends, will give me a good bet, and it will miss like by 0.5, or it won't hit, and then there'll be one that just hits, and it's just like, wow, we got it just enough. We sniped it.
Losing or winning on a hook.
I hate it. That's the worst part. Losing on a hook is the worst feeling because you're there. You're literally there. I've done it multiple times.
Not last week, but 2 weeks in a row, I lost on the hook with the Pack. They won their games by like 2 points. And they're laying 2.5, and I'm just like, you assholes can't win by 3?
My new thing is yardage parlays. That's the new thing.
Yup.
Yardage parlays are great.
No touchdown scores, no winners or losers or spreads, no overs.
I've got a guy who I work with that pays like a fee to get a handicap. And the problem is with those, like, I don't know enough about that. I watch a lot of betting YouTube stuff too, but he pays for it, and the problem is they release them all and release the bets. And as soon as they release the bets, their odds are changed on the sportsbook.
Ew.
Like instantly, like within 30 seconds to a minute. So he goes, whenever they send this right now, he's like, I have it open, and I literally just go straight to the apps and I check every one as quick as I can to see if it's still there.
Dude.
And or they'll take it off because people are betting it so fast. I'm like, okay, so why would I pay for that? You know?
Right. I just been doing like noon slate teasers.
Teasers are good. I like teasers.
You know what kicked my ass? So I'm not talking about real money bets, just a fun when they have the props. It's like $5 or whatever. I had a Sports Equinox boost. It was plus 105% if you put 12 legs or 11 legs. Steelers Giants, I think it was. I hit 10 out of 11, and I needed Freiermuth to have 6 more yards, and I would have won on $5. I would have won like $1,500.
Wow.
And I like got 10, and I it's not like I put like that was just a freebie, like a $5.
It was just a freebie, yeah, dude.
But I was like, how did I hit 10 out of 11? I don't even want to tell
you what I did today. I don't even want to tell you what I did this morning. I woke up this morning and I bet 16 teams. It was like like 6 NBA teams, 4 NFL teams, and
fucking
like
Steve's betting on German
two
soccer.
Two of the hockey games. I think I threw a soccer game in there. And
Hockey's
I just
brutal.
picked randomly, and I put $1 on it. And if I win, it's like 1,000. And I was like, okay, bet, I'll do that. You never know. I may come home and win 1,000.
Maybe. But the funny
I don't
thing
do that a lot, but that's just for fun. NFL is the main thing I bet, really.
Yeah, if it's in our private group chat, I don't care. But like, I don't post my like bankrolls in there because I don't need people seeing what I'm spending on football betting.
Oh, I don't even at this point. Everybody's seen me fluctuate so bad with my bankroll, so I let you guys see it only in the group. But like,
same, right?
I would never post it online. No,
me neither. But people ask me, "What would you bet on?" I'm like, I'm not telling you that because number one, you're probably going to judge me one way or the other super hard, and number two, like I tell people, I'm like, hey, if I can make a paycheck on a Sunday, that's great.
Yeah. And no, and I tell the people that would actually know or care. Like if my brother goes, I really like this team this week. He's a huge college football bettor, so I will sometimes text him. It's hard. It's very hard. But he knows a guy who's got a handicapper that he follows, and it gives him a return of this much. So he goes, okay, there's going to be losses, but he's really big into that, and then he's really big into football as well. And I told him like last year, I'm like, there's a couple futures I want to run by you, and I told him. It was last year. It was the year when DeRozan came to the Bulls, or 2 years ago, I think.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, when their win total was like 40-something. And I was like, I'm telling you, bet the over on their win total. Like, they're going to hit this. They're going to not hit it by a lot, but they're going to hit it. And they ended up winning, I think 50 games or 50-something games.
Dude,
he was like, thanks, that was a good hit. And I'm like, yeah, no problem, dude. I got you. Like, I tell him the bets that I feel. He gives me the bets he feels. Like we're going to the game Sunday, so we're gonna bet the Bears.
You gotta bet when you're there.
I'll be damned if I don't. I'll be damned if I don't bet Pop Douglas to score a tutty on the Bears. Like
you have to.
Just to. His odds are probably plus 650.
I was at the tailgate at that Steeler Colts game, like on my DraftKings app the whole time.
Oh, and I know at least like Illinois, you can be on the 3 or 4 years ago, you couldn't bet in Illinois.
I know, it was fucked up.
It was like you could only do it, and the service was so hard, and it was just
you had to
tough.
go to like a fucking.
You had to go to like
track.
You had to go to like an Underdog Fantasy or like one of those, like a Prize Picks app. You have to just pick like that. You can't pick like an actual spread. But now it's different, so we're gonna bet the shit out of the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's gonna be a good day. We're gonna talk about picks before this is over because
I want to just tell you, I hit a baseball future this year.
You hit the Dodgers?
No, I hit Pirates.
Padres?
Pirates win total. Okay.
Oh, nice.
On the last fucking day of baseball,
they got it.
They got it.
That's right. I remember reading that.
And then I won a nice sum of money. And then the next 2 days later, I went to the Steelers Colts game, and I threw all of it away because they fucked that game. They lost.
Yeah, that game sucked. I think I bet on the Steelers that game.
I waited 6 months to make that money, and then goodbye.
Oh, I
got to be willing to lose.
You have to. I did a what's it called? I'm gonna quick get on my app here. I would just read I'll read you. I did a 4-team for Sunday that I feel pretty good about.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up my spread picks I have locked in to see if I align with you. Because I have.
You got it.
I won on Thursday. What was the Thursday night? Last night not last night for people watching this, but last night for us. The Bengals were getting 6.5. They only lost by 1.
Hell yes. So this is what I got.
Okay.
This isn't crazy. It's plus 577. I did the over for the Bears Patriots game. I know this is gonna sound so stupid. It was 38.5. Like, if they're gonna have somewhat of a productive game, like they're gonna need to score points. I just don't see this game ending at like a 12 to nothing, or like their other games have been. I just think the Patriots, if not, Drake May looks really good. He's good on his feet. He can run the ball. Their receivers are young. They're fast. They got a lot of work to do, and our defense is banged up. I just think the over could hit in that game. If Caleb can score twice and Drake May can score twice, you're essentially there.
Run the ball.
Exactly. So I put that in there. The Bills money line, it's only minus 205. There's no way the Colts are going to beat the Bills. The Bills are hot right now.
If the Bills lost that game, it would be really, really bad.
It would be bad. I just don't see it happening. And Joe Flacco, yes, I know.
He cut us up, though.
Footsteps Flacco, dude. Joey Footsteps. This was probably a trap because I forgot Dennis Allen got fired when I made this bet. But I picked the Falcons. Probably shouldn't have. The Saints got interim head coach coming in. Usually that's a game for the Saints to win, but I forgot. I just wasn't thinking.
Two things
and
on
then,
that.
Go ahead.
Atlanta is just a better team, but also I don't like a home field advantage in that because they both play inside. Atlanta's good when they play inside.
Yeah, and they're not really far. It's not really that far of a distance, and it's essentially the same stadium. It's Mercedes-Benz both ways.
The Saints fucking low.
JD's gonna be pissed when he hears this.
I'm not saying
but
it
no,
as like
he knows
it's
he knows they
I'm not
blow.
saying it to talk shit to JD.
They needed to fire Dennis Allen, and
I would never talk shit to JD about football. I've seen what happens when he gets mad about football.
Oh yes, he knows.
Another Halloween party story that we probably shouldn't talk about.
We're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about it on here today, but I just talked about that last week with friends about that. It was because Randall Cobb wasn't getting any touches during that Packers game that happened that night. Oh, that was a memory I will never forget.
Is that the night? Was that when you had
he
your broken
denies
leg?
that? No, that was
the year before.
It was the year before. I was Jar. I was you.
Okay, yeah, you were me, and I was Timmy Turner.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off.
Sorry, the last leg of the parlay. I'll get back to it. Detroit Lions. They're in Houston, but they are so dominant. There's nothing. They're a wagon. They're a wagon.
Dude,
they're gonna.
MCDC.
I hope they're the
another
team.
Planet.
Yes, he's a great coach. I have coworkers and friends that are Lions fans. That if anyone in the division is gonna win, that's not the Bears, it's gonna be the Lions. I'm not gonna 100% full-heartedly root for them, but like I would rather root for them than the Packers or the Vikings.
Well, think about this.
That's how I look at it.
Think about this. They went to Green Bay. It was their first outdoor game of the season. It was in shitty rain.
They only have three. They only have three outdoor games.
Okay.
One's in Chicago, one's in the Lambeau,
Detroit,
and then one's in San Francisco.
But point being, they went into that shitty weather where people were like, "Oh, I don't know," and they kicked the piss out of the Packers.
It was great. It was great, dude.
I'm on St. Brown doing the headstand.
That was sick. They just have a cool team. They really do.
They're good,
and they're young. And Jared Goff's a dog. I've always
too bad about Hutchinson though.
I know that is sad, but
I like him.
They got Zadarius Smith, so somebody to fill in.
Yeah, well, that helps me get him out of Cleveland.
Dude, somebody, I can't remember who it was. Some former GM posted like, what the Lions should do to trade for Myles Garrett, and this quote was like, "Who says no?" And it was like 3 first-round picks, Jahmyr Gibbs, and a second round for Myles Garrett. I'm like,
everything they gave up for Deshaun.
The Lions. I'm like, the Lions would never do that, bro. No. Like, why would you get rid of that? Like, all those picks. That's so stupid. For Myles Garrett. I was
Myles Garrett is...
he's a dog, but, like, no way.
He's a good player, but it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and this guy used to be a GM of a team. I can't remember his name, but I saw that online. I was
it
like,
Rex
that's
Ryan?
Insanity. No, I actually don't mind Rex Ryan.
I don't either, but sometimes he comes up with these trade proposals, and I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? Because
some of these analysts are kind of crazy.
Unless Myles Garrett requested a trade or was older and trying to win or something, like those kind of guys don't get traded.
Yeah.
Until a certain point in their career or they want out. Now, he may want out because Cleveland is brutal.
Well, I mean, I would want out 100%. I mean, it's I feel like Cleveland's ass, dude. Cleveland is absolutely
The team
ass.
wanted out. They moved to Baltimore, and then they brought them back for some stupid-ass reason.
Dude, so my buddy went to the Ravens-Browns game and in Cleveland. Drove all the way there to see them lose. And that was the same week the Bears, that was 2 weeks ago, when the Bears lost on the Hail Mary because Stevenson was doing his thing. And
unbelievable, bro.
It was unbelievable. I honestly, a part of me died that day. I don't think I'll ever get him back. Like, I remember watching it, and I just felt like, oh no, dude. Just like the heartbreak, like my week was ruined. Like, it sucks. I don't want the Bears to be my mental health, but they are sometimes.
You know the Leo
and I
DiCaprio
literally
meme?
I disconnected. I just cut I was just like
my
brain turned off for the week. I was like,
the Leo DiCaprio meme, but instead of like a glass of whatever he's drinking, I had a slice of like bacon buffalo pizza. It was awesome, but I was like choking on my pizza watching that end of that game. I'm like, how do you give that up?
Literally,
it was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. I'm done talking about it.
We can shift away.
But
we got a little bit more time still. We can shift away from football. We could keep talking about it too. It doesn't matter. But I know you and I could talk about it for fucking days on end.
We could literally talk for days on end about football. There's so much we could talk about, though. It's like endless.
Yeah, I think like when we first became friends too, it's funny like we have so much in common with music, but we just talk about football.
I mean, it wasn't even like just football. It was like everything. It was like it was just fucking memes. It was it was music.
Well,
I think it's football. Important. It was sports. It was what we're gonna drink this weekend. Like
Jameson.
Yeah,
it was always Jameson.
It was Jameson. I haven't drank Jameson in so long.
No,
I'm a vodka
that was
boy
like,
now.
What are you, vodka?
I'm a vodka boy now. I drink like Costco vodka.
Yeah,
or
dude.
Like
it's a Grey Goose, basically.
It's essentially Grey Goose. I'll drink Tito's or like. I know you're the tequila guy. I don't really drink like anything else, though.
Here's my thing. I like tequila. It's like no carbs, gluten free. Not to get on that vibe, but I had come out with psoriasis, and so I'm doing much better. You can't really see it now, thank God. But when I was eating, like I gotta watch what I eat, so and make sure I get good sleep. So the tequila doesn't fuck me up like that, even though I love my beer. But yeah, vodka doesn't really mess me up too bad, but I drink so much of it hurts my stomach.
See, I don't get the stomach hurt, and I don't drink it like I wouldn't say I drink a lot of it, but like if we're gonna go to a party, like I will bring some kind of mixer and a bottle of vodka, or I will do like a seltzer. I definitely don't drink beer like I used to. Like last year,
Bacardi.
We went to.
Used to always have Bacardi.
I loved Bacardi, dude. I still love rum. It's dangerous though. But, like, if we're at, like, an event or something and there's just, like, oh, you get a tall boy beer for $11, like, I don't want to do that. But if I'm forced to do it, like, I'll drink a beer. But, like, for Kat's birthday, we went to, what brewery was that? It was what's it called? Two Hearted Ale, whatever theirs is. Bell's Brewery.
Yeah, in Michigan?
Yes, in Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And it was sick. Like, we went to their, like, little gastropub kind of type deal with like the brewery, and we ate like good food. The beers on tap were just like way better, and that's like I'm like that beer is like the best. Like,
yeah,
it's crafted well, it tastes well, it's smooth, it's on tap. I'm like, yes, we went there. Beers were great, but like since then I don't drink like a lot of beer, just because like it bloats me too much. It makes me feel heavier. It makes me feel more tired than drinking anything else.
That's why I've been drinking like Mich Ultra.
Mich Ultra's good. That's a good beer. I like Mich Ultra, but I
get what you're saying, because if you're drinking a bunch of IPAs and shit, you feel like you're dead.
Plus, it's easier. Like some of these seltzers and like these, not the like super sugary drinks. Like I'm not gonna drink that. That makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
But like I'll mess around with the vodka soda lime like all day. I'll mess around with like any kind of rum, you know. I like whiskey. I just don't usually drink it a lot. But
we used to drink a lot of Crown.
I'm cool with all the seltzers though. Those taste good to me, and I can chug them like if I really wanted to. But I just
the older I get, like and I know this is very cliche, but I don't get hangovers. Like I don't get like a headache or a stomach ache. I just feel like I didn't sleep good if I drank.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that too. I'm not really getting a headache. Hurt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm getting that a lot as well. I would say the same.
And I feel like it prevents me from being productive, so now I'm like, all right, like, it's not like we're drinking every day. Because, like, Stoleaway era, it was like, there was always Jameson everywhere. Yes. No chaser. Yes. Here, take this bottle.
We were just pulling the bottle. Like, we literally
handles
just pulling the fucking bottle.
What the hell is wrong with
literally.
We tequila. Me and Jake were drinking tequila like fiends. Like, it was nuts. And then...
Oh, yeah, you were tequila boys.
Oh, my God. Some of those parties, like, the Stoleaway parties were awesome, but, like... There was one I drank a whole bottle of fucking Maker's Mark at.
Ooh, Maker's Mark's good, though.
That's
like a staple.
Yeah, it was good, but I woke up and I didn't know where the hell I was. I was on Jake's couch that I'm too long for, like in their basement.
Oh, yeah.
Those are good times. It's just, I think you need to, like you said, like, listen to your body. If it's not something that reacts well with you, don't do it.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I went to a Halloween party, and I had Reposado for the first time. And that was like the smoothest tequila I think I've ever drank.
Yeah, it's good.
It was delicious. I was expecting it to be bad. Like, because I remember one time you gave me a shot of Jose Gold, and I thought I was going to die. This was like years ago. This is when I was living in Crown Point.
Maybe somebody bought it and we just drank it.
I think somebody bought it for your birthday and we had a shot. And I was just like,
fucking remember what I drank that night, Jimmy.
I was like, this was gross. Like, but I did it. You know, then I went back to Jameson.
You and Steve were up drinking that Crown Apple.
Oh, Crown Apple's delicious, dude. The problem is, it's like that one Bears game. I went to a Bears game. It was last year. Miami versus the Bears in Chicago. We got there like 6 a.m. to tailgate, or 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And we drank salted caramel whiskey. Because the other stuff was like beers and seltzers, and I was like, it's cold. I want to be warmed up. We drank salted caramel whiskey. I drank like probably half the bottle. And I was fucked up. I slept the entire way home, and I woke up with the worst hangover because it was so sweet.
You should have just found the Bears Winnebago. Those old guys who were like 80. You pay $20 and they'll let you smoke a joint in there.
No, there's definitely those guys.
No, it's real. I used to work with Clark Street. I used to work at Bears games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's
Fucking
Winnebagos all over the place.
They're crazy up there.
They are. It's crazy though.
Do you find like so with like a lot of different projects you had, like, you know, there's always drinking around with music. I feel like it just kind of is. It is what it is. But like, I don't know. I feel like when I'm kind of like working on stuff like that, like I'm not. Maybe if I'm writing lyrics, I'll have a drink. But like I'm trying to like stay focused. You know.
Yeah, I don't. If this is just like just how I get into creative vibes, I can see why people will be like, yeah, I want a drink or I want a glass of wine to help me get into that creative spark or that creative mode. I just purposely, I've just never been a person who likes to drink during the week. Maybe when I was like 21, 22, we would go to like long shots and get half price drinks on a Wednesday or something, but like not like me now. I don't really buy beer. I'll buy beer for my dad, but on the weekend I'll get some booze if I'm going to be like watching football. Usually I like to drink like Sunday from like noon to 3 and then I'll stop drinking. Or I'll like noon to 4 and then I'll stop drinking from that point. Or if there's a party Saturday, I won't drink Friday. I'll just drink Saturday. So I try and do like one day a week. Yeah, and it's not like I'm not getting like wasted either. Like I'm getting like a slight buzz and I'm chilling. Like that's it.
Dude, you don't ever need to buy beer again after how much PBR used to be in the fridge at your house in Crown Point.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of PBR for a while. I mean, I think I almost overdid myself on beer for a little bit, to be honest. So I haven't drank as much of it, but I don't go too hard. There are times, like, there's a lot of bad videos out there of me, like, being so fucked up or crying, or my friends have probably really bad videos of me, like, just doing miscellaneous things, but, yeah, I don't really do that as much anymore. I still like to get a good buzz, though.
I'm with you.
But I can see it bringing the creative, I didn't even answer the question, I don't think. I could see it bringing creativeness to, like, writing. There was a couple times I had a drink while at Seth or Sam's, like, the studio. We were doing that. I'd bring like a 12-pack, and he'd take some beers, and I would have a beer. Well, like, it was chill.
When you're writing, like, just let me ask you this, kind of just to play off of that, because, like, I know, like, I'm kind of maybe not unique, but I know how I write my songs and stuff. When you're writing, like, lyrics to something, how, like, do you have, like, the music first, and then you kind of fill in the blanks?
Yes, that's like the only way I've been able to do it. I've never been able to like write lyrics without the music. I don't know why. I need to feel the vibe of the music, whether it's hip hop, whether it's a band. For a band it's hard. I've never really done it before. Maybe I wrote like a few lyrics of R&R, not like a lot, maybe like 3 or 4 lines total. Like, and it was me having to beg Jake to like, hey, use this. Like, I want to be involved, but like also I understand. He was writing good lyrics that I was liking, so I was like, you got to stick with it. But I would say music first definitely helps writing the lyrics.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
At least for hip-hop, it's a little easier. You just have to kind of rhyme and make somewhat sense. You don't even have to make sense. If it sounds good, if the beat's good and your vocals sound good enough, it doesn't matter really what you say. You know, it's catchy to the ear, so like a lot of these artists these days are like hip-hop artists and rappers. I mean, the beat's fire and they can say whatever the fuck they want, and it's like, okay, sick. Not as many people care about lyrics in music that's just hype music to get you pumped up, you know.
I've made the argument before that, like, while good lyrics are they enhance a song. I think less people care about lyrics than we think, because there are these countries that don't speak the same language, and someone will go play there, some big artist, and they know all the words. And I always tell people, I'm like, you could be like, listen to this song, it's got amazing lyrics, but it's like, okay, but like if it had those same lyrics and it was a genre you don't like, you wouldn't want to listen to it.
Exactly.
You know? It's all kind of like
that's
you said,
like
the vibe.
The vibe, 100%. Like I grew up on a farm. Like I like country music to an extent. I like old country music.
Alan Jackson, baby.
Yeah, like good country artists like not Garth Brooks, Brooks and Dunn.
I saw Garth Brooks. He was sick.
My dad's gonna go see him in Vegas in like a month. He said he's very excited. I'm like, Garth Brooks is he's
shout out Matt Klein,
bro. But no, like Alan Jackson, like old, like Jason Aldean and like Wide Open or pre-Wide Open, like 2011 prior, prior to 2011. Toby Keith pre 9/11, like
pre 9. Dude, 9/11 was like filled with sensationalist, like all the country guys writing patriotic songs out of nowhere.
Because it sold. I
mean, I understand
why they did it. Like it makes sense. I'm talking like old country, like good country. Like I like that, but I also like rock, but I also like hip hop, but I also like some electronic. Not a lot of electronic, but
this is gonna sound really bad.
Beats.
I describe the old country that I like is like pre like 80s, just like substance abuse country.
Yeah,
like there's a tear in my beer type shit.
I could see it. It's all about drinking, being in a spot where your girlie's gone and you're sad. You're just
being a cowboy.
Being a cowboy, long dusty trail, long dusty road.
But it's funny how like you can have that juxtaposition of like doing hip hop and then being in like a metalcore band and then being in a pop punk band and then liking like rock 90s alternate. Like you do like a lot of different shit. Yeah,
everybody's entitled to liking what they want to like. There's some shit I hear from people I work with that I'm like, you listen to this shit, and I'm like, this shit's dog shit. Like I know as a musician, this is dog shit music.
Let me rephrase it though. I mean, like from a creative, like I said, like a musician, like I feel like it's more unique to be able to play all those different, or be like to make more than one or two different genres.
Oh, dude! Like, there's a song. I never told it really anybody this. There's a song me and Quaid's brother Tyler have wrote that is straight up like a country rap song.
Like Jelly
It is
Roll?
like a. Not even, I don't even know, because I haven't ever really listened to Jelly Roll, which makes sense. Like, I probably should have listened to this person. I see him online. I know who he is. I know the style of music he makes. I should probably listen to it. I just haven't done it yet. But it's like I put a beat down, and he recorded this guitar part on, like, the PRS I had at my house at Crown Point.
Jake's old one?
Yes. I think it was Josh
black
Andrews'
one,
PRS. It was the black one. Josh
single
Andrews'
cut,
PRS. Yeah, I gave it to, I think Brandon has it right now. But anyways, he recorded it on that. He just plugged into this same interface I have right here. He plugged into it and recorded this sick-ass beat, and he put this lead over it. And I'm like, this sounds like country, like twang, hip-hop. And I'm like, I kind of want to put it out. Like, there's so much shit I want to put out, but like,
That's cool though.
I want to make sure it's ready before I put it out. And that's the thing, I haven't been able to, like, mentally I've been up here not able to go back and get it ready to put it out. I'm just working on getting to that. Sometimes I've had creative block for 2 years now, essentially. And I'm just I'm tearing down the walls of the creative block. I'm like halfway with the wall. My head is above where it's open. I need to get the whole body there.
Nearing the end
like
of it.
I'm trying to put it in perspective.
I want to run with this. I want to run with this vibe. I would say we probably got a good solid 5 minutes left around in our pod.
Okay.
If you're
Sorry,
cool. I mean, we can
rant.
go. No, we can go. we can go longer than that, but I just mean like to hit the hour.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I don't mind going longer, but I know you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I think that's a really interesting thing to talk about, because I know it's like we're homies. We're not always going to sit here and do interviews and whatever. Like, I like to shoot the shit, but I like this idea of like this creative block. I don't like it, but I mean like talking about it, because I do think that's a real thing. Like, I think that, and I'm not going to get too woo woo or like mystical with this, but I think stuff like kind of it just kind of comes to you when it comes to you.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Like, you can't always sit down and be like, I'm going to write a song. Like, you can write it. It might not be very inspired. But when it comes, it's like the floodgates are open.
when it comes, I voice memo instantly. I was listening to like one of the songs that we had been either tracked or I recorded or something, and I heard a vocal that I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna record that into my phone. I'm driving, so I'm not gonna write it down." And I'm like, these words, this melody, blah 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 blah, and then I did it again, and then I click stop. It's like, okay, when I'm able to write, I've got something in my phone that I can maybe write off of, And I have all these like tracks, these beats that I'd worked on that are not done, but are like 35% done.
They're like
so
enough
I have
to start.
A backbone. Yes, a backbone or a spine of the track, It's just sometimes it's hard, and I feel like everybody kind of goes through their own little, if you're an artist of any kind, whether it's painting or singing or writing music or performing music, you go through this little block where it's like you argue with yourself. You're like, I don't really want to do it. Number one, I'm so busy. Number one, I don't have the time for it. Number three, there's other things I can do that are make me more productive than this right now. So I kind of put this writer's block up, but I try to work through it because I know at the end of the day it'll make me feel better if I get over it,
Well, historically, again, I'm talking about this kind of idea of creation, not in a religious sense, but more or less in like a worldview, like divine, like kind of collective consciousness type of thing. It's crazy. Like there's like Paul McCartney talks about having the dream. Mother Mary comes to me, like the song comes to him in dreams. Billy Corgan, when he was talking about writing Cherub Rock, he said what you said, except there's no voice memos, and he sat on a 20-minute car ride singing the riff until he got home with no guitar.
So yeah, like exactly.
It just
like we just are blessed that it's easier now,
Oh yeah,
and there's times
dude,
like,
my
especially
notes
with somebody, the Notes app's amazing, but especially if somebody like us, like you can record at your house. I mean, like, or if you have a studio access that you can be in without having to pay for like that, or you can do it without being financially tied down. You can just sit there and bullshit and fuck around, and then you write the really good stuff because you're spending more time on it.
I do demos and pre-pro at home. I haven't put out music that I've recorded. I don't really mix and master that much, just basics. Stuff I do sounds better than stuff I paid studios to do 15 years ago.
Well, and that's the thing, because you're going in there, you're paying the studio, and you're already set up to record the songs you've written. So you're not going to be in there being creative. You're in there to perform the music and get it
That's a good point.
Sounding the best, If you have unlimited time in a pre-pro or a studio format, you can write good music. You just have to keep trying different things, keep doing different things, give it a shot. I've never sang in a band before. I mean, I was in show choir for 4 years, so I'm just working on figuring out how vocals work for a hip hop artist, or stuff like that.
There's things that go along with that, but I think though it's almost like you're widening your. It's like you're not like, hey, I'm a drummer. You're like, I'm a musician, and I'm gonna create with whatever paintbrush I need to use to get that art out. Because like I've always looked at it from the perspective like I'm not a drummer. I can like program drums, but that's not the same as playing them. I never grew up with a kit, but I know where there's like what they're supposed to sound like, and when I'm writing a song, like not maybe I don't. Like when the songs come to me, like, okay, this fill has to be right here. I really want it on this cymbal. Like, I've been doing shit where I solo and it's played on the bell of the ride, like real, hillbilly type shit. But I think that it's like, it doesn't matter if you've never done it before. It's more reason to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want
I mean, drumming will always be my love. But if I had more like hand-eye coordination, I would try and play guitar. And I would just, the problem is
I think you need more hand-eye coordination to play drums.
Maybe that's true. I don't know. I feel like the frets,
it's like
when you're doing it, it is hard. Yeah, it's like that. Like I can do that.
Me with the kick, and then I can't. You have to practice it.
The kick is easy. Once you get the hang of it, the kick is so easy. Just do single pedal. Don't even worry about double pedal. Don't go into hard shit when you're trying to play drums for the first time. It's just like I've just always been rhythmic. My brother had a drum set when I was 5 years old, so my mom would throw me on it. So like, and she was like, "Oh, he's gonna be a good drummer," and like she just knew because she just knew I had rhythm. I don't know. I just had something about it. I was in band class. I played trumpet for 3 years. I went straight to show choir. I danced and sang for 4 years of high school. Like, bruh, like who just does that, But my brother did it, and I just did it. It was great. I had great memories in that. And it projected me into more music, whether it was drums or bass, all that. So
something I tell people, like if I teach a guitar lesson every now and then or do like a video for somebody, the number one thing, and I don't know, maybe this applies to drums too, but it's just like before you worry about playing the song, worry about actively listening. Not hearing the song, but like learning it by actively listening and knowing like what you're listening for.
I see. That's the thing. I can match key and match pitch very quickly. I can figure out harmonies very quickly because I just hear it. It's not like some people have to probably work at it or taught themselves how to hit it or match pitch, or not even match pitch, but like that's easy. But like figuring out the harmonies within a split second of a song, you know, like
I always do those in the studio.
I've learned, like, I've listened to enough Fall Out Boy songs I could do every harmony in the Fall Out Boy songs because I just know what it is, you know. But I remember hearing it for the first time and being like, oh, I hear it. Like, I already hear it. It's perfect, you know.
So before we like wrap it up or anything, do you maybe want to just tease our, like, because we're kind of talking about it anyway. Do you want to talk anything about the projects you're working on now? You don't have to give any details, but just that you're doing some new stuff.
Yeah, I am. We're me and Miller doing
Clearly
some new
I'm
stuff.
involved. So
me and Miller doing some new stuff with some familiar faces.
Basically, almost everybody who's been in Stoleaway is in this band.
Yeah, essentially we're Stoleaway Part 2, but with a new band name, and we're just gonna be switching it up. We're gonna be just changing the vibe. I am currently trying to get back into hip hop at the moment. It's just been slow. I've been kind of more focused on the bands than that.
So aside from the band, you try to do some heavy Kreme stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and drop like 1 or 2 songs probably. I haven't really. I kind of put it on the back burner. I just wanted to get something out, and then once I got something out, I was just like, I was happy with it, and I liked it, and I'm glad my friends liked it, and it felt good. I just did an awful job of promoting it. Like, in my opinion, I feel like I definitely could have done things different. I missed, like, I'm not active on social media as much as I should be because I just sometimes forget about it or I just don't care about it.
It's hard.
So that is the part that I will have to get better at because that is what it is now.
You gotta spam it and music videos and engagement, and I'm going through that right now where I'm trying to figure that out. It's hard.
It is so hard, and I have a good, I wouldn't say a good following because people don't just like follow me like that. Like, I would say I have good friends that are loyal to other good friends, and they will.
It's a good album.
Share.
Though.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. It was so much fun to record. I made a couple beats. I had Phil make some beats. Pootie's on the beat. I had a guy used to play Phil. His name, another Phil, actually made one of the beats. I used to play with him with R&R, like his band used to play. And
then
with
you
my
make
band,
beats
so.
too.
I made a couple beats. I honestly picked up FL so quickly. And if you're a drummer, like, it's the easiest thing in the world.
So you're kind of wired that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, it's all rhythm, so you could essentially do anything. Then I got this big ass MIDI, the keyboard that's like this big, it's huge, so I would just riff on it, and it was fun. It was entertaining. It made me feel like I was doing something. I had a good hobby that wasn't just me hating my life, you know. So
well, I would say, and I'm saying this as a music fan, not just as your friend, I really like that Heavy Kreme record because it's consistent where all the songs sound like they fit in an album, but they're not all the same song. They have different vibes. They're all different.
Like, I tried to make them all different. Yes,
some go hard, some are darker. I really like In Good Time. That's probably my favorite song on the album, just because it puts me in like
more
a
vibey,
good mood.
More like lyrical.
And you know me, I love Mac Miller and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it gives me like such a windows down fucking like driving around.
Yep, that's the vibe I was going for sure.
And I'm gonna definitely in the description for all this where I post these, I'm gonna let people know where they can check out your music and follow you and everything like that.
SoundCloud too, because I do have one that's on SoundCloud that is not on.
It came out
Spotify.
after the album.
Yes, it's called Joyride. That one I made the beat for. Probably wasn't the best beat, but I liked the lead so much that I was like, I want this as a song. So I released it on SoundCloud. It's probably doesn't have much going on, but all my stuff's on Spotify. Obviously, when this new band pops off and there's more songs, they will all be on all the streaming platforms. So we'll get that promoted and sent out
you
there
can
as well.
Find Heavy Kreme is the word heavy space Kreme, Heavy Kreme,
like Krispy Kreme. Yes, like cream from the donuts.
Yeah, if you're looking for that on Spotify or wherever, that's how you spell that. Obviously, Rebuild and Rebound is on Spotify if you want to check that stuff out. Listen to Jimmy play drums, Stoleaway, but I'm not going to plug that because I'm in that band.
I was also in that band once.
You were. I just want to make it about you. But yeah, you play drums and bass in that band, so And then obviously, like you said, the new stuff will be up. And then what about socials? Like, if people want to follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. I need to read them because I don't remember them.
Instagram, Twitter /X.
I honestly, my Twitter is so undercover. I don't even know if people follow me on there.
That's okay. You don't have to share if you don't want to.
My Instagram is all lowercase heavy Kreme. I post music on my story. I post pictures of me and my girlfriend Catherine, and dogs. And
your dogs.
And not my dogs, just dogs I see that are cute. There's a couple dogs on my page.
No, your dogs, your DAWGS.
Oh, my DAWGS, yes.
Yeah.
And then you can find me on the Sleeper Fantasy Football app. Because we did do a lot of talking like that. I'm in 7 leagues, and I'm a gambling aficionado. My Twitter, my X, is Heavy Kreme, but the E in Kreme is a 3, and it's all capitalized.
Cool, and I will link those. Before we get out of here, I just want to ask you one more thing. Well, 2 more things. First, is there anything else you want to share or talk about?
At the moment, I'm not sure. What do you think?
Just wondering if there's anything you wanted to promote or say.
I am happy and thankful that Mill had me on today. Honestly, we could have talked. It's only been an hour and 10 minutes. We probably could have talked till 3 a.m.
Yeah, if this wasn't such a late one, I would say we'll get you back on and we'll do a longer one.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I have ADD. I can't focus half the time, so I'm just going on rants and tirades about sports and betting and music. So it was great. I had so much fun being on the podcast. I know my friends will love hearing all this shit too.
Absolutely, man.
Especially the stories we shared. It's just like
we'll have more to share. I feel like you and I tiptoe around some of them because some of them probably shouldn't be public knowledge.
Yeah, you're right.
There's nothing incriminating, but
No, but still, I get it.
And my last question is what you've been listening to lately.
Oh, that's a great question because I was actually thinking about mentioning that. So there's a couple bands. JD put me onto this band called Ridgeway. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I think I do follow.
I've shared them to you before.
You probably did.
They are so good. I'm going to see Story So Far in Super Heaven on the 22nd with my buddy Shane, JD, and I told Kyle about it. He's supposed to come. His brother may come.
Me and Steve should be there.
Everybody's supposed to go. It's at the Aragon Ballroom. It's going to be a blast. My birthday's the 30th, so we're going as like a dude's birthday trip. It's going to be a blast. Besides that, I'm going to give you it's sick lineup, and then Koyo. I've never heard of them.
Koyo's sick, dude. You got to check them out. They're like a bunch of hardcore kids that play pop punk. They're good.
Oh, I'll have to definitely check that out. I went and saw Balance a couple weeks ago, so I've been listening to a lot of them. Gino's newest New Age Thief, his album or his songs,
sick.
Fire. Love those.
Shout out Gino, he's our boy.
He is our boy. He's he's a great musician and artist. He's awesome. Write great music and great lyrics. He makes you feel good.
Check them out.
I've been listening to one of my friends got me on 4 Year Strong's newest album is kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's decent. I've been listening to that.
You guys put me on Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's a banger, dude. I went and saw him 2 months ago.
I didn't know it was the guy from Attack Attack.
Yes, dude, and that's what's crazy. Nobody does. Johnny Frank, and it's so funny because one of my coworkers the other day is in the shop fixing a truck, and I hear Bill Murray coming out of a speaker,
Perfect.
and I'm like, bro, These guys are so much older than me. I'm like, is that Bill Murray I hear? They're like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I just saw him a month ago. It's so good.
Yeah. When you guys first told me about him, I was like, Bill Murray, Space Jam, golfing with the fucking umbrella hat, and you're like, no, you idiot, Bill Murray, one word.
Mm-hmm. I would say I've been listening to a lot of different stuff. There's so many good artists. I listen to a lot of what my girl plays a lot. She listens to a bunch of good music. Definitely softer than the music I listen to, but I do enjoy. Kat. Shout out Kat. I do enjoy the music she shows me, and she knows that. She's probably smiling right now. She is smiling.
She loves you when she sits there while you and I talk about God knows what for an hour.
Yeah, she's just watching probably a spooky video while we're just podcasting. But no, I would say I've been listening to a lot of Balance, a lot of stories so far. It's Paris season. I haven't listened to them in like over a year, but it's that time of year where you listen to their first album. Yeah, the first album. It's
into the
fall.
ground.
Yeah. Oh, we did. We almost like overdid it. Like I was thinking about this the other day.
That and State Champs second album. We played those two into the ground.
So I haven't listened to State Champs in like 3 years, and then my buddy
Derek
Sean,
used to be in Crown Point every other week.
I know, it was nuts, dude, and like
weird.
It was cool. It was a weird vibe, but it was a cool vibe. My buddy played it on Discord the other day, and I was like, bruh, I know every word of the song, and I haven't heard it in like 3.5 years. It was just one of their old songs, and I was thinking about like how much I loved them.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I've definitely matured as like with the music I listen to, but I still listen to like a lot of the good stuff. I still listen to Super Heaven. This band called Warper. They're really good. They're like under 50,000. So yeah.
How about that new Webbed Wing? You checked that out?
Dude, Webbed Wing's fire. Webbed Wing's so fire. That's the guy from Super Heaven. So
yeah, but it's both of them. Jake plays drums in that band.
Oh, that's right. And then also Teenage Wrist. I gotta shout them out.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
so good too.
They're so good
There's
too.
just so many good bands that I listen to. It's like I can't even. These are just current ones I'm listening to, but I like it all.
If you made it this far into the podcast, those bands will probably give you a pretty solid idea of a starting point of what this project's gonna sound like.
Yeah, absolutely. I still am in love with my band Citizen. You know, like they were my favorite. I've also been listening to a lot of like riffy or like grungy and like 90s and like 80s even. Like getting into some bands that I never really thought I'd get into. But yeah,
sometimes
a lot of
you
good
know the single,
mixed bag.
Sometimes you know the single and you're like, okay, whatever, and then you deep dive. This happened to me with Oasis like 10 years ago. I deep dived the catalog and I'm like, oh my god, this is the best.
That's like I deep dived to ELO the other day, and I was like, bangers all around. Supertramp, bangers.
Hey,
I was
by
like,
the
this
way,
is like old music.
Was it like you and my brother and Quaid or somebody? You guys went to see Citizen and you parked at the John Mayer like Grateful Dead concert?
Yes, literally. We parked. It was at what's the one right by Wrigley? Is that the Metro?
You guys were at the Metro, but I think they were playing at Wrigley.
They were, and we were like a block and a half over. Yeah,
That's
it was nuts.
Weird combo.
Dude, that was a fun show. I think it was Citizen Story So Far. I'm pretty sure.
Was it? That's pretty sick.
I can't remember. I saw Story So Far at the Metro one time though.
I've seen them.
I'm pretty sure Citizen played there. That may have been a different show, but I've also seen them like 20 times.
It's hard to like remember certain ones. You're like, I know I saw them on that tour, but I don't remember who it was with or whatever.
This band called NVM, they're good. A lot of those like
Nevermind.
Yeah, like a lot of shoegazy bands. Quaid's got a good selection. We always exchange music pretty often.
Quaid and I are into the guy who left Teenage Wristband.
What's it called?
Oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. I listened to this album on loop. Why don't I know what it's called? Hold on. That's the other problem is I don't pay attention. I just let the albums play. Heavenward.
Heavenward, yes. Okay,
dude,
yes.
That album's awesome. Oh my god, that band's so good. It's like kind of like Teenage Wrist, but more shoegazy-ish vibes, but similar. And then Teenage Wrist, he's kind of more riffy now, but still good.
Yeah, it's very good. The Marcus King band, it's like soul music. It's like really riffy. I like that. I always listen to The Midnight, which is like your 80s synth vibe, saxophone. Yeah. I love saxophone. I will always be into that.
That Bill Murray song has saxophone in it that I was posting.
They're so good.
And then the Teenage Wrist one. I was like the McMahon meme where my head was getting...
Yeah.
You know,
dude, literally. It's such a good instrument to have. I got a friend that plays sax. I may have to get him in a song in the future.
I think so.
It's just great. But besides that, my life has essentially been fantasy football, rooting for the Bears, thinking about music, listening to music, and working. That's pretty much it.
I think it's normal. You know, you got to go through periods of time. You change, you grow, you make new art because of it, and then you kind of ride that cycle of that art, and then it's time to make something new.
Exactly.
So
keep on keeping on.
Right on, my brother. Well, I'm very grateful that you took the time out to do the show with me. I hope we could do it again.
Absolutely, dude. I'd love to.
I will be talking to you because we are 2 days away from NFL football. So we will be in the group chat together. I know that. But
yes.
for the people listening, please check out all of Jimmy's music and follow him on socials. This is one of the best people I know, and I'm really appreciative that you were on my show.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I'd love to be back on, dude.
I'm looking forward to it.